The Giants start from their 30-yard line. Winston throws, and it's a first down reception.
As a fullback in the backfield.
Third down and 2 on the toss. Singletary back to Winston. And now Winston fires downfield into the end zone for the NFL touchdown. Wan'Dale Robinson.
What y'all want to see this?
It's loose.
Welcome. This is the Kickback Sports Pod brought to you by Kickback Jacks here at Midlothian Turnpike, man. Let's eat. Here we go. I got my man Ben over here. I got...
It's your boy Jay.
Your boy Black.
And once again, this is a Kickback Sports Pod. I'm still working on the intros. I still haven't figured that out yet. So once I get that down pat, we'll have that down pat. But, you know what I'm saying, today we got a special guest with us today. Go ahead and introduce yourself for me, big dog.
What's up, my people? Coach Rudd, Billy Rudd. Pleasure to be here, man. I appreciate you guys and what y'all are doing.
All right, man. We got Coach Rudd, head coach, Meadowbrook High School football program, man. And first thing first, y'all, let's get into the high school sports scoreboard brought to you by RVA Sports. All right, man. So game of the week for us, we went to the TJ and Armstrong game out in Cool Lane, man. And Armstrong dominated that game with a 20-13 victory in a playoff victory. My man right here, go ahead, give me the highlight players because them boys was balling out there.
When it comes to the highlight players, it's so hard to name. I'm going to get a cliche answer and say, like, truthfully, as a team, we really did battle. So I want to give a nod to the whole team as well. Like, a lot of people knock on us all season, been like, we ain't been fully battle-tested. And we went into halftime with TJ 7-7. So I had to see how our kids really reflected back to the adversity that we was facing, being tired at half. But majority of the time, we're dominating by the time halftime comes. So seeing all of them come together, seeing the quarterback push everybody just, the receivers pushing each other, the linemen pushing each other, us as coaches even helping and pushing each other to really come together and get that clutch win to book our ticket to the regional championship.
Okay, congrats. Like I said, what was your thoughts of the game, man? Because we was out there.
Yeah, one of my biggest takeaways was they looked well coached. You know what I'm saying? There was a little more discipline. The other team was making a lot of mistakes, getting a lot of penalties. The kids showed a lot of speed.
Well, yeah, they was moving.
Yeah. So,
well, what was it? What was the kick returner?
Oh, Zion Williams, number 30.
Yeah, that boy. Woo.
Yeah, that was the great way to open up the second half.
Yeah, shout out my dog Pruitt, man.
For sure.
Me and Pruitt balled together at Virginia State. And when he took over that job, you know, we all knew. I still talk to him, you know, weekly. And he watches our games. You know, I watch his games, and we kind of just throw some ideas back and forth at each other. But my guy Pruitt, you know, he's doing his thing up there, man, and a lot of respect to that program and what they've built over there. And he's setting that standard pretty high, you know, undefeated season. You got Pecosin coming into town. Pruitt, if you're listening, don't let them change that game off of Cool Lane, baby.
Hey.
Them boys deserve that over there on Cool Lane, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And let them boys get that moment.
Yeah, congrats again, Coach.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
appreciate
saying? And you know what I'm saying, keep rocking it out. So let's run down the other scores this week. You know what I'm saying? We had Thomasdale. They pulled off a tight win against Manchester, 27-21. That was a late score game.
Number one Sports Center top 10 play to finish
that
that
crazy.
game.
Yeah.
99-yard pick six.
That was yeah.
That's a tough way to lose. Like, I can't imagine as a coach, like, watching your season end like that. I mean,
Last play of the game, too, wasn't it?
It's definitely a learning lesson, I think. It just overall, I mean, of course you want to take that shot, try to win the game, but you don't nobody expect that when you throwing a pass into the end zone for it to go all the way back on you.
That was the second pick six of that game.
I didn't even know that.
Second pick six
Man.
of that game.
Got to get it together. Look, all right, so then Hearn pulled off a comeback win, too, themselves with a 28-25 victory. And then we had the Wave, you know, Petersburg. Them boys went out there, got them a 20-7 win.
Yeah.
Highland Springs, they won their game too. Oh man, they won the game 37-7.
Yeah, they looked good.
Yeah, Verona and Dinwiddie. Now this is the game I want to talk about right here. Verona and Dinwiddie, 34-0. Them boys.
Hey, I'll be honest, man. and what's crazy, and I'll say this, you know, out of respect to the Verona program, they're not even healthy.
Yeah.
You know, they're missing two of their biggest pieces.
That's
you
true.
know, Sir Paul Cheeks and my boy from Henrico, dealing with, you know, battling with that situation. But you know, that was surprising. You know,
I was surprised.
Especially at Dinwiddie too. I mean, I played there. You know, played there as a player, coached there. You know, that's a tough environment. You know. But shout out to Verona, man. They handle business.
Yeah, I think they just staple that they one of the best defenses in the state. Like, that defense is electric, and they fly around, and they just play together the whole game.
That boy Bull is everything the truth, everything that people say he is. Like, I mean, I watched the highlights and some stuff, man. That kid was disruptive.
Yeah.
All right, in the last game, the late game was Huguenot. They got them a win too, 34 to 11, man.
11, yeah.
Wow. And that they had the number 1 running back in the state.
It was the battle of the Michigan recruits.
Yeah.
You know, because
both
Dabney's
of them
going to Michigan.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the running back from Louisa going to Michigan. And shout out to that, you know, the Huguenot defense, man. You shut down, you know, arguably the number 1 running back in the state. You know, that says a lot. And then, you know, Charles Scott, and he's got you know, a couple of my former alum Meadowbrook boys on his staff over there as
Right.
the OC and the DC. Shout out to them. But, you know, they're doing their thing, man. And I hope they, you know, continue that run and represent for the 804.
Yeah, man. So that definitely, you know what I'm saying, some great games. That was round 2. Round 3 next week. I'm, you know what I'm saying, looking forward to our games of the week is Highland Springs versus Hearn and Huguenot versus Verona. That's the big one. I want to check that one out.
Yeah, first that Highland Springs and Hearn game, I actually was able to make it to that game when they played the first time, and it went down to the wire. Like, Hearn, Avery Curtis for Hearn is a home run hitter every single time he touches the football. Like, if he get a seam, he's gone. There ain't no point of chasing him. He's gone. Then the same thing with Highland Springs, Eric Bird. Every time he touches the ball, he can be a home run hitter. They got it's a kid that's the backup that's emerged in these last couple games in the playoffs. So now they got another running back.
22.
Yeah, he's been
Right.
toting
Came
it.
over from Cosby.
Yep. And now, and the quarterback, of course, Buddy. He plays both sides. He's one of the best two-way players in the state. So it's going to be a great game, Hearn versus Highland Springs.
Yeah, so, yeah, man. So, we definitely thank you again to RVA Sports. You know what I'm saying? Follow them on IG to get all your sports highlights and get all the scores and all that good stuff. Got some good people over there at RVA Sports. That's RVA Sports with 2 S's. All right, man. So, let's get into it, man. Bill, Coach Rudd, man.
Good, man. We good. You know, we go back.
Yeah, we go back. My bad. You know, I said, Coach Rudd, how you doing, man? So I just want to congratulate you and your coaching staff and your players on a great season. Y'all did a hell of a job, you know what I'm saying, out there this year, man. So I want to congratulate y'all on that, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. So I just want to talk to you for a second. You know, let's get into a small journey because we got a brand new audience. Let everybody know how you got into coaching. You know what I'm saying, and what led you to taking the head coach's job at Meadowbrook?
Absolutely. You know, I was a player. Played football at Meadowbrook. Graduated class of 2007. You know, was on that state championship team back in 2004. And you fell in love with the game of football. You know, and graduated from Meadowbrook. Went off and played at Norfolk State. Played there for 3 years. Transferred back home and ended up graduating from Virginia State. So, you know, and then realized I had a passion for the game, you know, and trying to figure out how I can get into it. Troy Taylor was the head coach at Meadowbrook at the time, and, you know, I went back my first year and volunteered for him. I was a kicker and punter in college and growing up, so, you know, my roots came from the special teams era, so I was able to help him out, volunteer my time as his special teams coordinator back then. And then I realized, okay, you know, I want to take this thing serious. So then I started searching around. You know, a lot of people don't realize the time commitment that it is to be a coach, whether you're, you know, a position coach, a coordinator, a head coach. You know, it's hard to make a 3:15 practice, you know, working a 9 to 5.
Exactly.
So,
Definitely.
you know, I looked in, I said, you know, what careers can I have to be able to coach? And then everybody said, well, you got to teach. And I said, okay, cool. You know, so ended up going over to Thomas Dale, graduated from Virginia State. And then Kevin Tucker, who was the current head coach over there, linked up with him and got my first teaching position in the building over there with him. And I was his receivers and special teams coach over there as well, and really just kind of hit the ground running. You know, he's a guy that obviously a well-known program, a staple program to the area. You know, he's the face, and he kind of showed me the way that he incorporates his family, his community. You know, over there at Thomas Dale is a special place, and you know, spent 4 years over there with him. You know, coached some phenomenal players. You know, Chris Tyree, you know, CJ, a bunch of the guys that came through there. My current O-line coach, you know, Greg, he played there for me. You know, so building those relationships. Then the Matoka job came open, and a buddy of mine, Jay Parker, applied for that job, got that job. I applied to be the OC. I'd studied, you know, a lot of things and was granted that opportunity. We took that program over. No JV program. You know, they was 3-7 at the varsity program, and we turned that thing around, got the JV program back, and then, you know, had one of the best seasons we had there, and hosted a playoff game, which they hadn't done since 2006, I believe.
Right, man.
So,
I remember those.
You know, it was one of those things, and you know, the stars aligned, and I'd always felt the need to go back home, you know, and go back to the roots where Coach Bill Bowles is a legendary coach, and he was my head coach, you know, at the time, and the life lessons and values that he taught me, that he instilled in me, you know, I still think about to this day, you know, and you know, Jimmy Rogers, you know, RP, Coach Rogers, he was a huge component of building, you know, turning boys into men, and that's kind of why we get into coaching. And you know, the job came available, and I felt like I was ready to make that move. Applied, went through the process, had a good interview, and Miss Richardson, who was actually the AD when I played there, so still had some connections there, you know, from when she was, you know, overseeing our program. And,
Right.
you know, they granted me with the opportunity, and I took it and ran with it. Got over here, and you know, I tell my guys we had to roll our sleeves up and get it out the mud. You know, the program was not in a very good spot. You know, they had won one game in 5 years. You know, and the year before I got there, they went 1-9. But the previous 4 seasons, they went 0. You know, so I knew what it was. You know, I was excited about the opportunity. You know, Meadowbrook can be a place to get back to where it was. It's just going to take some time. It's going to take, you know, some patience. It's going to take, you know, and we kind of hit that mode a little bit this year and kind of tasted a little bit of that success.
Right.
You know, so we're excited with what we got and looking forward to the next challenge.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? So from what I see, you know what I'm saying, y'all having a successful turnaround with the program, you know what I'm saying? So what are the important building blocks to building a program the way you're building it right now?
Yeah, well first it's hiring a great staff. You know, a head coach is only as good as his staff is.
Facts,
and I have some phenomenal guys, not only, you know, from the X's and O's side, but some phenomenal leaders. You know, lead by example. You know, I have a plethora of different guys on my staff. You know, with multiple different backgrounds who are positive influences that my kids can look up to. You know, and that's one of the big things that I you know, try to do from the start with this program is put as many positive influences in front of my guys' face as possible. A lot of my kids, you know, they only know Cogbill Road, or they only know the 804. They don't know the opportunities and the doors and the roads that they can travel.
Right.
And you know, a lot of people, they get into coaching for the X's and O's, you know, but as a head coach, you're in this job to impact lives. You know, it's bigger than the X's and O's. And that's one thing, you know, that I made known through my interview process is, look, we're not going to turn around and go 1-9 to 10-0.
Right,
you know?
right.
But what we will do is do things the right way. Trust in the preparation, put in the hard work, because, you know, it's hard to find some of those throwback, just tough-nosed kids nowadays. You know, everybody, all these kids are they're on the couch on the video games, or in front of the TVs, or, you know, so you got to really instill, you know, that hard work, that dedication, that day in and day out. You know, come to work every day. You know, and I got some phenomenal coaches, and you know, some of my leaders on the team have really bought into the process.
Right.
You know, and we're excited we're young. A lot of our production was from some young guys. We graduated a couple older guys on the up front and stuff, but we're very excited kind of where we are as a program right now.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, man, just coach well, continue to coach very well, just young, you know what I'm saying? But the building blocks, those are there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah, it takes time. You know, it takes time. You know, you have to really go back to your roots and understand what you're trying to do and get coaches on the same page. You know, because a lot of people don't realize the time that goes into this. I mean, we're at school Sunday morning, 9 o'clock coaches meetings. You know, we're breaking down film all day Saturday. You know, I mean, my wife and my beautiful kids are over there. You know, she understands the sacrifice that it takes. And, you know, it's unfortunate when the people don't realize that because, you know, you're not coaching for the money. You know, people say, well, how much you making, coach? How much? Pennies, bro.
Right,
you know,
right, facts.
Like
Facts.
You know, I'm pinching pennies. I'm looking in the cup holder to put gas in the tank. You know,
Right.
but we're doing this to impact lives and to change these kids and to set them up for the future. And obviously, you know, we are all competitors and we want to win. Like, I want to beat you tying my shoes.
Right.
But at the same time, my job is to make you a man, you know, and to set you up for the future, whether that's college football, whether that's jobs, whether that's a life, you know, whatever the case might be. And, you know, in the situation that we're in, and that's one of the biggest things that you know, kind of the gratifying things for me as a head coach is being able to impact those kids' lives and show them the avenues that they can have. Shout out to my son. That's him.
Shout out.
Right, Lil William in the building. But you know, being able to provide doors for these kids to walk through is really what I hold my hat on. You know, and you know, I hired a group of guys to kind of handle the X's and O's side, as we say. You know, but being a head coach, man, you got to wear a lot of hats. And you're not only, you know, football coach. Sometimes you're a dad. Sometimes you're uncle. Sometimes you know, you're a therapist. Sometimes you're the counselor, the teacher. You know, so it's you know, but moments like that and having kids come back to thank you and to say, Coach, man, I appreciate you helping with my journey. Like, that's what makes it all worth it right there.
Right. Okay.
Like you said, great success going into year two, definitely from the jump from year one to year two. But like you said, as being competitors, and I know y'all definitely wasn't happy missing out on the playoffs this year, in year two. What are the biggest goals for you going into year three?
Well, this is year 4 for us.
Oh, year 4, sorry.
Yeah, year 4. So first year was 3-7. You know, figuring some things out, figuring out personnel, figuring out what we got. Second year, we went 3-7 again. People don't realize how much of a gauntlet that Central District is. Yeah. Shout out to the Central, man. You know, we got some dogs in there, boy.
Definitely.
And you know, and then year 3 is kind of where we hit the ground running. Was able to reel off 6 wins and, you know, double the win column into year 3. So, you know, the playoffs things, I feel like I still got a knife in my back, you know, that's twisting a little bit.
Yeah,
you know,
man,
I've never been a part of something like that.
Them
You know,
points,
I'm still trying
man.
to figure out this point system myself.
Points,
You know,
man.
This is our first year dropping down to 5.
Yeah.
You know, so we had been in 6. So we had it kind of figured out. You know, we look at our school down the street. You know, Birds 6-4. They're hosting the game. We're 6-4 on the outside looking in.
Not even getting in.
You know,
Right.
so it's and it's frustrating. And, you know, some people, you know, well, coach, it's strength of schedule. Hey, bro, Petersburg, Dinwiddie, Thomasdale, Hopewell, all these boys still playing. You know, obviously, you know, Petersburg and Hopewell played last week, so like, you know, miss me with that strength of schedule, bro. That Central District is legit, man.
Definitely.
You know, but it's just the same thing. And I told our kids, man, you know, you can only control what you can control.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, we weren't playing our best football down the stretch, you know, and it showed, you know, injuries and things like that. But, you know, I don't allow my kids to make excuses, so I'm not going to make an excuse. But at the same time, you know, you got to know, you got to be rising, you got to be peaking come week 10.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
and you're seeing some of these programs doing that right now. But, you know, I've still never been a part of a time where a team that was 4-6 got in over a team that was 6-4.
Right,
I've seen it, you know, 1 win, 5-5, 6-4, sure. You know, but 2-4 wins, man, hey, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to the VHSL, man. Yeah, you know, there's 18 teams in 5, bro, and I swear we was one of those 8, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, the work that my kids put in and to have them, you know, come in that Monday and me to look at them and say, hey, we didn't make it, fellas.
Yeah.
You know, it was tough, man. It was tough. And, you know, we're punching numbers Friday night, and you know, we're like, man, there's no way. You know,
No way we don't get in, yeah.
You know, but it is what it is. You know, it's a learning experience. It's tasting that success, and now, you know, that gives us fuel for the off season.
Absolutely.
You know, giving our guys off through the holiday period, obviously, you know. And, you know, we're hitting the ground running January 5th. We're right back in the weight room 4 days a week, you know. So, you know, we're really trying to instill that work ethic and getting these kids to see, and hopefully, you know, them missing that opportunity fuels them for the future, you know. And, you know, my job now is getting these seniors into college. You know, we're tipping our hat to the recruitment, which is getting ready to amp up for some of our guys. And, you know, we're excited to get back and, you know, push fast forward, because January 5th, we're coming.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to talk to you about the Big River rivalry game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Congrats on that.
congrats on, you know what I'm saying, becoming the head coach of the South.
Yeah, that's huge, man. It's, I mean, just blessed for the opportunity, man. You know, I've coached in it as an assistant coach the previous 2 years. The first year under Tom Hall, you know, legendary guy. You know, he faked some people out when he said he was stepping down from coaching. And then, you know, 2 months later, this dude jumped into the Central District and down in Prince George. I said, come on, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, stay over there in the Dominion, man. But phenomenal dude, man, you know. And then last year was Coach Stutes, who, you know, Matoka had a phenomenal year.
Right.
You know, I've never seen, you know, well, the talent, you know, that they had was crazy. I think they had, you know, 6 or 7 D1 kids.
Yeah, they had Bryce Yates.
Yep,
Yeah,
Bryce Yates still
right.
balling.
Yeah,
Balling
he's
up at
amazing.
Pitt. You
Yeah.
know, Dylan Newton Short balling over at UVA.
Absolutely.
You know, they got a couple guys, man, and the injury bug bit them pretty hard at the wrong time last year, because a lot of people don't realize, like, you got to get lucky too. You know, when you go on these runs, you got to have some things fall your way, no matter how good you are. But no, man, you know, the South. You know, I'm blessed and honored to represent the South this year, and just excited to the amount of talent that we have south of the river. You know, I think we're doing the live roster reveal Wednesday evening. So, you know, I haven't even seen the full.
That's a
full
great
slate,
action. So,
you know?
what the roster looking like? That's how it's a great action.
It's crazy. I mean, I know my guys, but, you know, that's about it. You know, and they're I don't want to, you know, ruin anything for them. You know, they do a great job over there. The Touchdown Club, man, you know, a lot of them, you know, all the money raised goes to different charities that of their choosing.
Right.
You know, excited to get around that talent. You know, because we have some phenomenal kids. And one thing about this is, you know, it gives these kids one last opportunity to showcase their skills.
Absolutely.
You know,
Exactly.
You know, throughout the week, there's numerous college coaches that'll be attending practices and stuff, and they'll see the game, and you know, it gives these kids one last go, you know, to play high school football, because this is a special thing that not a lot of kids get to do. Yeah. And we're excited about the challenge. I think the series is tied 5-5 right now, so hopefully we can get that nod this year. You know, because I'm coaching in it, but hey, I'm trying to win that thing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We're trying to bring that thing back
home.
to the South.
Bring
So,
it back to the South.
you know, it's a great opportunity, you know, for our kids, you know, for my staff to be involved as well, getting some recognition from them, you know, the tireless hours that they put in as well. And, you know, we're excited. And once I see this roster, we'll kind of figure out who I got where and position groups and stuff. But just excited to meet a lot of the kids and, you know, get this thing going.
Right. You got anything?
Yeah, I got a question. First, again, congrats on that.
Absolutely.
Well, my question is, when it's all said and done, what do you want your program to be known for, and what you want your legacy to be?
Yeah, that's huge, man. You just dropped the mic on me right there.
Yeah, that's
I'm
just getting started.
Don't tell me I got to retire already.
Nah.
Chester County Public Schools said I got to work 30 years to get that retirement. I think I got 20 left. But no,
man.
you know, as a program, man, you know, really it's not even about my legacy. It's about how I can get these kids to go from boys to men. You know, and I guess you could say that's my legacy. I want to be as impactful as possible to the kids that I encounter. You know, because, again, like we touched on before, this job's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about it's putting these kids at the forefront, you know. And us having the opportunity to impact these kids' lives every day is really what keeps me going. You know, I guess whenever it stops becoming fun, you know, that's a cliche saying.
That's what they all say, right?
It turns into a job. But, you know, as a program, you know, we want to get back to those winning ways. We want to get back to being, that top dog on Route 10, you know, where we once were. And it's going to take time. It's going to take some hard work. And, you know, my legacy, I just want people to know that Coach Rudd did everything in his power to make you better from the day you left than when you got there, you know, and that's a big thing for me. And, you know, I felt like we've impacted a lot of kids so far and given these kids opportunities, just simple as, you know, the way we feed these kids. I mean, they get 2-3 meals a week. You know, we're taking them on college visits. We're getting them out. You know, we're doing community service. You know, I hosted our first annual Easter egg hunt. You know, we're just trying to do things to impact these kids' lives and to show them the different avenues that they can attack in life, whether it's with football or without football. You know, because what is it now? 2% of high school sports go play college football, and with this transfer portal, it might be even lower than that, you know, because unfortunately the kids aren't getting the opportunities that they used to because of the transfer portal. So, you know, my legacy is just, you know, wanting everybody to remember me as the kid or as the guy, as the man that did everything in his power, you know, to help these kids down the road, you know, become better in life.
I mean, you're doing good, man. You're doing a good job so far, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Big shout out. Big shout out. Shout out to the coaches. Shout out to the players. You know what I'm saying? Wife and the family, you know what I'm saying? Sacrificing, you know what I'm saying? Definitely got to get it all out there. So, you know what I'm saying? You want to stick around for a little bit? We about to get into some actual topics now.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So
let's do it.
Y'all want to start?
I'm not Harry Lee, but I can do a little something.
Might well start with the Eagles. Get that out the way.
Here you go with these Eagles, bro.
Oh,
Here we-
my God.
Here we go.
Start from their 30-yard line.
So, we about to run up NFL topics. Let's get it. So, bruh, so you go ahead. You introduce your topic. This Eagle fan.
I'm with him. Let's get it out of the way.
You know, basically, Eagles took a tough loss. We went up 21-7?
It was 21-0 at one point.
Zero.
In the
was up
first
21-0
half,
at one point.
and
The wing got clipped.
didn't see nothing after that. You know, my takeaway is pretty much what we've been suffering with all season. You know what I'm saying? Like the offensive coordinator not drawing up good plays. You know, 3rd and 2. I don't know what that was. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting Saquon going, but I'm just waiting for the postseason. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, my God.
You already counting
Still
them
some,
chickens.
you know what I'm saying? Still some good takeaways from that. The defense looked good. It was more so the offense.
First half?
Yeah. For 2 quarters, we couldn't get a field goal. Like, you can't win a ball game like that. So
I said, y'all defense looked good the first half. Man, Pickens was balling on you.
But we can't fully. I mean,
yeah, but still,
They was in position.
Yeah, if you lose by 24, it's the offense. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Because they went 2 quarters and couldn't get a field goal.
I mean, you're right. It's the first time it's the coaching staff. I mean, you gave up 21 points. What was in the score?
24-21.
24
points in a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll shout out our principal, Dr. Reed, man, big Eagles guy.
Yeah.
And,
I'm surrounded by all these Eagles,
the
man.
only thing that made it worse was it was the doggone Cowboys that
Exactly.
did it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the
'cause
Cowboys.
I can't even-
That's what did it. It's the Cowboys.
Shout out Coach Rome, Cowboys guy back there.
Shout out.
Yeah, that was the toughest part about it. Like, being an Eagles fan, that's the one game I don't never want to lose. Like, every other game, I can kind of get through it after a while. But them Cowboys fans, man, like, they'll say something to you. Like, they'll call you at 3 in the morning and knowing you got to work at 6 just to mess with you about them beating you. So it's like, it's a tough one. I mean, I'm with Black, though. I think this is a very rare situation where I truly think I wouldn't fire him, but if I'm Sirianni, I'm telling him he got to take a back seat and I'm going to do play calling for the rest of the season. Like, I done gave you all the way to, what week we in, 10,
This week.
11, something like that?
Yeah, this is 12, eh?
Yeah, something like that. This far enough in the season, and the offense still look very, like, elementary.
Right.
At this point, we got to we got to change something else for a spark, because Saquon Barkley probably ran for, like, 500 or some yards so far, and last year he ran for 2,000.
Yeah.
So like that drop off is crazy.
That's what's bothering me with y'all right now. He not getting going. Like what's up with that?
Well, it's also, you look at a guy like A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown got his, and then he took a L.
Silently.
But then they take a L.
Exactly.
So it's almost like, how do you keep everybody happy? And that's the thing about football, man. When you got a lot of playmakers in one football, those guys got to be bought in for the program, and obviously the NFL is a lot bigger, a lot different breed than high school, but we run into it as well. Receivers want the ball, running back wants the ball.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, your job is to win.
Yeah.
And you got to be willing to give up a catch for a carry.
Yeah,
for a guy like Saquon, how do you not get that guy the ball 20 times a game?
Got to.
So
Yeah, I agree with you.
I'll take him.
Because like you said, definitely with coaching, like I tell receivers all the time, like as a receiver, you might go 2 weeks in a row. Like definitely when you go to college and stuff, you might not get a target. Because most receiver rooms are loaded and it's full of talent. It just might not be your game. But a defense, like I never forget Bill Belichick told Chad Ochocinco before a game, like, I'm not going to let you catch the ball tonight. I'm going to bracket you. Everybody else going to have to beat us. And you just got to deal with that. Would you want me to still force feed it to you with a corner under you and a safety over top? Yeah. So sometimes you just got to deal with it. I mean, we still good, though. I don't know, like, Cowboys can't talk too crazy. I mean, they record still what it is.
Like 5-5.
5-5 with a
5-1.
Yeah, with a tie.
They still that tie. I hate ties.
So,
I hate ties, bro.
Yeah, we still in the battle for the top seed in the NFC, so I ain't going to stress it too hard.
All right, so I want to talk about the Shedeur, what I'm saying? I want to get into that, you know what I'm saying? So, he first started this past week, you know what I'm saying, as I should say. I think he looked good, you know what I'm saying? 1 week of practice, you know what I'm saying, being blackballed pretty much the whole season. He looked good out there, and he pulled off a win.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that post-game presser, like how much shade y'all gonna throw at this man? He just got y'all the dub. You ain't even give my boy the game ball.
Didn't even give him
like,
the game
like
ball.
what are we talking? I mean, he's got some baggage with him. He talks his talk, and won't no different than what his dad did in the league.
I mean, he's confident though.
Confident,
bro.
but you got to be at that position. You have to be. At the quarterback position, you cannot second guess anything. Shout out to my boy Deshaun Chisholm, our QB1 in the building.
Shout out.
You can't be undecisive and second guess yourself. You have to know that I'm that guy.
Absolutely.
And you got to play like that. Now, do you always have to talk that? Not necessarily, but at the same time, like. He said that this was only off of a week of preparation, so he's I don't know why they didn't go to him earlier.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. It's baffling to me. We sat through Gabriel and his struggles. Bro, get this boy Shedeur some love, man.
Yeah.
Now he's going into the second game knowing he's the starter and he talks some big boy stuff. So let's see what you're going to do.
Definitely. Like you said, he comes into the game and immediately has the most explosive play of the season with that bomb to Isaiah Bond. So, I mean, Shedeur just electric. Like you said, I think they knocked him too hard about his pre-draft process. I mean, he said the honest truth. Like he said, if you want to change your program or change the team, come get me. If you don't, leave me alone, which somehow that made him fall to the 5th round, which is crazy. But everything happens for a reason. So I think now he getting his chance. If they don't keep giving him his chance, like moving forward into the next season, then I hope he do go somewhere else where they can treat him the way he deserves to.
Well, NFL owners, they don't like arrogance. Like, you know what I'm saying? So him being as confident as he was in himself, that just rubbed him the wrong way.
We was talking about it earlier, like with the Cam Newton situation.
Yeah, man.
He had the baggage towards the end of his career. Carolina was done with him. Then he went to, I think, to New England for a year or two or something like that.
Because they was cool with it until he started getting hurt.
Yeah.
When he was Superman, running all over the league, diving over everybody, didn't nobody care about the fact that he was wearing them crazy outfits or nothing. But as soon as he lost,
the crazy outfits started after he started getting hurt. Let's get it straight.
He
was out there button up. You know what I'm saying? He had the crew cut. He was button up.
It started a little
years.
early because at the Super Bowl he had that crazy hat on already.
Oh man!
So we already knew it was coming. Like you seen where it was going. But like you said, that's just what it is. Like definitely if they don't feel like you to that elite level or they didn't got what they wanted out of you, then it's like we ain't gonna take all this extra stuff that you bringing in the building.
All right, so my question, do y'all think that they're going to continue to let Shedeur develop and be the starting quarterback from now?
Bro, that is the worst quarterback room in the National Football League.
I mean,
they're still paying Deshaun.
I know that.
Yeah.
Like, they got Deshaun on the hook for 40-something million, don't they? Like how do you Shador? The best thing for Shador, in my opinion, is
Get up out of there.
put his numbers up, right?
Get up
prove,
outta there.
Prove that you can be that guy,
And get out of
and then
there.
go get your bag.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be in Cleveland.
Yeah, do not resign.
I
For
say
no
you
reason, do
can't.
not
Out
resign.
of there.
You can't.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I think moving forward, you know what I'm saying, he's gonna start because if nothing else, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? He sells tickets.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? People want to see him. The fans cheering for him. You can see how the team rallied around him.
Yeah.
But they ain't seem to care about that at first.
No,
I'm
the
talking about
ownership-
Cleveland.
Until that money hit.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
They got the money already hit. He had the highest selling jersey from the start.
But when he sell the stadium out, that's when
Yeah,
it
on
really
top
gonna
of
hit. Yeah.
he own a lot of options. You know what I'm saying? And it's too late to go back now. So I feel like he's gonna start.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, so we're going to get into the next. What's this you got on here about Houston, big dog?
Oh, that's a big game.
Yeah,
Didn't they upset the Bills Thursday? Well, I
Yeah.
guess you could call it upset.
I mean,
Yeah.
is
They
that-
beat the
that
Bills
is an
Thursday
upset.
night, man. Yeah. They put up.
So, what do you think about that defensive line and or better yet, the Bills' offensive line? What was up with that? Like,
I don't even know if it's. I mean, the Bills' offensive line is not that great this year. Like they just not looking as dominant. But that Houston Texas defense, from top to bottom, is insane. Like D'Amico Ryans, his stunts and
they
the
was
way
getting
his schemes.
after him, bro.
Yeah, it's like he barbaric with it. Like he just he'll throw a blitz at you where there might be 7 people coming, but he knows somebody gonna get home, so he's not even worried. And he got DB sitting under. Like they might have the best defense in the league. I think between them, Seattle, Philly, Denver, of course. Like they are part of the premier defenses, and D'Amico Ryans is doing a great coaching job with what he has left.
I feel like I think the Bills just got exposed. That's all that I feel like that just happened against Houston.
When you rely so heavy on Josh Allen, and you have a defensive coordinator that just sells out to stop him and forces you to make different decisions, forces you to do some things outside of your norm, and you struggle offensively, and yeah, that defense was biting, boy. Yeah, and
I don't think Josh has seen anything like that.
not the pressures, like you said.
Not
They was dialing it up,
any of the
pressures
years
that they
I've
was
seen him
sitting.
playing.
Because a lot of people will sit back and try to spy Allen, knowing he's going to take off and play, deeper coverage stuff. And,
He just said
because at the Texans, what we got to lose, bro?
I mean-
we looking at each other like, hey, we got to make something shake, and it was working. They stayed aggressive, and the Bills just weren't able to capitalize and handling that pressure and. That offensive line, I mean, you know how it is as a trench guy, man. It's you have 5 and they send 7. Somebody's
coming
free.
No matter who
Even if you got a running back back there, I mean, it's
That's
6
versus 7.
Somebody coming free.
Somebody coming.
You pretty much looking back at Josh like, look, you're going to either let this ball go immediately or you're going to break one of them because I can't block it.
Good luck, my homie.
Definitely in the NFL, yeah.
That's one of those. Watch out, Josh.
So I'm like, look.
That is a watch out moment.
Not for real.
All right, what you got? What's next?
See, we talking about. Actually, no, that's exactly what we need to talk about. That Lions versus Giants game. Hey, man, I've been saying it the whole time. Jameis Winston should have been the quarterback. Like, it should have been Jameis Winston, the dart, and then now back Winston. It should have never been Russ. Jameis Winston is must-watch football anytime he's at quarterback.
Not only that, it's must-watch press conference.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that boy Jameis in front of that mic is crazy.
It's amazing.
The
like-
celebrations and the way that man talks, it's crazy. And, shout out to my boy Gibbs. Got me 53 points this week in fantasy. That boy was stupid.
That running overtime, he broke that seam. I said,
What?
yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, but you see a guy like Jameis that provides that spark, and the Giants were up. My DC coach Tobias is a big Giants guy. And, so we talk about it all the time. But that did provide a spark for him, man. And the Giants had their opportunities.
They did.
And they kicked like a
saw,
58-yard field goal or something.
Yeah.
Tie it. at
Yep.
the end.
You saw what Malik Neighbors said?
What he say?
Yeah, I did
He
see that.
said it felt like the Giants throwing the game.
Like he felt like it was rigged, and then he deleted it. then he deleted it. That's one of them. That's that league message. Like, hold on, dog.
Oh yeah. He got a call. He said, hey.
Yeah, because
Back of Malik mind, he said, man, I wish I had Dart and Jameis throwing to me in the first couple games.
Man.
You know.
I think next year they're gonna be electric. Like That's gonna be crazy.
So do you think the Lions are a contender?
Nah.
So you think this shows some
I
weakness?
do. They
Yeah.
they got too many. You know what I'm saying? They got too many weapons. They good on both sides of the ball. Like in a regular season, you have games like this. You know what I'm saying? Where you're not as dominant as people think you should be because of who you're playing. But the other guys get paid too. I still think.
That's a great point.
Of course, I still like the Eagles, but yo, you can't sleep on the Lions.
Well, not only that too, but people forget. You know, the Lions are dealing with 2 new coordinators.
Right,
You know, they
facts,
lost
facts.
both their OC and their DC. So, you know, Campbell's figuring it out, and that also takes a little time.
Yeah.
I mean, boy, you can't argue the talent they got though.
No.
I mean, them
Yeah.
boys got some talent in that roster.
They definitely got the talent. I say they pretended. At some point, you know who a guy is, and that's how I felt about Jared Goff. Like, I just seen Jared Goff in so many bright light moments, and he just dwindled down.
It's Jared Goff.
Yeah, that's truly what it is. Like,
He's the biggest question mark.
yeah, because last year they looked good. I really thought it was going to be us versus them in the NFC Championship. And then that Commanders game, he looked horrible.
I mean, yeah,
And the Commanders, like, ran shop all over.
Shout out to the Commanders, man. We ain't taking
Yeah.
L this week. So
Are you a Commanders fan?
no L's this week. No L's this week. You know.
Oh man. Well, okay.
We ain't win, but we ain't taking L, baby. So we
Hey.
be all right. We'll be all right.
So let's talk about Matthew Stafford over here having this very quiet MVP run. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people, he going under the radar with this little MVP run for real.
Yeah.
I think he got a solid chance of getting it, especially the way they've been playing this year.
I feel like they one of the most balanced teams.
Yeah, facts.
And when you take his play, you know, he got 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he might have that.
Balling, man. Balling.
MVP might be in LA already.
He on pace for 5K.
Yeah, he's completing over 60% of his passes. Like,
Boy,
How
balling.
big is it Devontae Adams pickup too?
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Because
yo.
That boy
He's
is
balling.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's new for Matthew Stafford. You know what I'm saying? As far as putting up big numbers, and like you said, with Puka Nacua and with the addition
He's
of,
amazing. Yeah.
like,
I mean, that forces you to not be able to double each side of the field.
Yeah.
Right,
You
right.
have 2 dogs, and then you know what I liked when I was watching them. You know, they'll put those 2 guys on the same side of the field and let them run their 2-man routes. And
Yeah.
who's stopping that?
Yeah.
You know, and you
Definitely
got
when you got
Williams in the
Messi across.
backfield carrying a rock, man. You know, Stafford, he's slinging that thing now.
right now, I think he's the favorite for MVP.
Yeah.
Yesterday, he had a, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have that big of a game last week.
Last week, yeah.
The running back for, what's his name?
Oh, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, for him.
Yeah.
Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
They ran into a tough game, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of those games, like you say, you know what I'm saying? You have one of those games in the season where somebody smack you in the mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Drake
yeah.
May's still in that though too. We can't forget about Drake May and the
Ooh,
Patriots, man.
Yeah. Drake May balling out here.
Yeah. And
That
then-
boy, but I can't. I don't like saying that with the Patriots, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He balling though.
Yeah. And of course, like, you want to bring somebody like Myles Garrett in, but like one of my favorite defensive players of all time is J.J. Watt. And since when they didn't give him MVP that year after he had, I don't think nobody will win it as an edge rusher in a long time because he had one of the most electric years for a D lineman ever, and they still didn't give him an MVP. He was scoring touchdowns and everything. So unless you a DB or something, that MVP award ain't going to the defensive side.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that. You know,
Yeah.
you got guys like Stafford and putting up 30 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
It's just hard, you know what I'm saying?
It's
But-
hard to say that edge rusher better
but
than
in
him.
the same token, man, like, bro, Myles Garrett is
A animal.
next
He
level.
could definitely
What? He's
get it, bro.
single-handedly would disrupt your offense.
Literally. And it looked like he was going to break this sack record.
Yeah, he
He
definitely
need 5
breaking
more
that.
in 6 games.
I think
He definitely breaking that. The man average 5 a game, bro.
Right, literally.
I think if they was winning, he'll have a better chance.
Yeah.
Fair point.
I
And,
agree.
and that's exactly the piece. You also have to be on a successful team.
Yeah.
You know, nobody gonna get an MVP. Like, this ain't the feel good award. Like,
you know what
you
I'm
an
saying?
MVP because you turning your program or your team into contenders.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like that's a great point, man. With the way that the Browns are, you put that dude on, you know, The Eagles or don't put him on the Eagles. No, put him. I don't put him with the Ravens or something. Put him with the Bills or something. Let him eat. But you know, it's hard to be hard to give a guy that type of award
on a losing
season.
He'll get DPOY.
Right. I mean, that's what it's going to be.
That's good enough. Yeah.
Defensive
He
player
gonna
of the
break
year.
that record though. Man.
Yeah, he gonna smash that.
He gonna crush that chain.
Being that you bring up the Ravens, what do you think they selling to be? You know, they're
looking
leading
good.
the division right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not saying a whole lot.
Yeah.
No, right?
But, I mean, you know, Lamar's back healthy. You know, they went through a tough stretch.
Well, kind of.
Well,
Like, if you look at his numbers, something got to be wrong. You know.
well, he missed. What did he miss? 3 games, 3 or 4 games.
Yeah,
with that
something like that. Yeah, like 4.
With the hamstring
Yeah, that
injury,
was
you know, and you know, he's one of the most electric guys, you know, in the league, and you know, with the pieces that they got now, you know, their offensive line's getting healthy. You know, defense is starting to play pretty well. You know, so they're one of those teams, kind of like we talked earlier. You know, they're starting to peak. You know, here that we're in the mid-season and going into the latter half of the season, and you want to be playing your best football. You know, obviously with the NFL in weeks 16, 17. You know, into the playoffs. But you know, you get into that dance, anything can happen. You know, you put that ball in Lamar's hands, anything can happen.
Anything.
Right.
I think it's just an unknown right now, and figuring it out and getting their stuff back together.
Yeah, I think, like, piggybacking off what Black said about his numbers, I think that truly even shows just how much Lamar is a difference maker with the football in his hands. Because even just him being out there changes their offense. Because, like, when you got other quarterbacks, they can sit back there. When you got Lamar Jackson at the quarterback position, I got to adjust my defense to a whole different level, because one seam and he can take a drop back on the 20 all the way down into the end zone. So him being so when he gets back and can throw and get that chemistry back, I think they're gonna be deep when it comes playoff time.
I mean, it's the perfect time for him to start building back that chemistry.
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So
For sure.
I don't know. He looking at they going to the playoffs.
For sure. Yeah, they're gonna win the AFC North.
Yeah.
Because definitely with Aaron Rodgers, they say, is Aaron Rodgers out for the year? That's what I heard earlier.
No. Is it? Why would he be out for the year?
Because, you know, he didn't play last game. He broke a bone in his wrist.
But that was a non-throwing hand, right?
Yeah, but, you know,
Man, he
still.
gonna be back, bro. That man gonna be back.
Yeah, I mean, if he's out for long, then the Steelers definitely don't stand a chance. And even with him back, I don't think the Ravens going to lose too many more games the rest of the season.
Yeah, they.
Got the Bengals this week.
They'll win.
You know.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but, you know, like with Lamar, that's why, you know, every year he's been in that MVP role, because, like you said, he changes the dynamic of that program. And, you know, as a defensive coordinator, you say, okay, how do I make this guy one-dimensional? Well, shit, he going to torch me in the air if I try to sell out for the run.
Yep.
Or if I sell out for the pass, he going to torch me on the ground.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, as long as he can stay healthy. And that's always kind of been the question. And we're dealing with that, you know, in Washington right now with JD5. You know, can he stay healthy? You know, he's a phenomenal talent. But the way that he plays, and Lamar, and even you know, Josh Allen and those type of guys that use their legs, man, like it's a dynamic force. But at the same time, can you stay healthy over 17 weeks?
Yeah, we talked about it here on the pod, but since we got you, I'm going to ask you, do you think Dan Quinn should have took Daniels out before he got hurt in that Seattle game?
You know,
Definitely
knowing what happened, sure, absolutely. you know. But if I knew what the winning number to the lottery is before it happens, we good. We all eating,
for sure.
right? But you know, it's also a standpoint. You know, the way that the offense was going at that point, you're trying to find some type of success to build off of for the next week, for the future, for the future. You know, anytime you have a kid or a guy who creates off-script plays. You're always going to have that thought in your mind of like, hey, get down.
Right.
You know, but from a coaching standpoint, man, you know, I'm looking for, okay, I got to get my guys on the same page. We got to build up something. We got to go. We got to find some type of positivity moving forward. Obviously, you never want a guy to get hurt like that, but you know, you have to build and think future. These are meaningful reps. These are game reps that are, and I don't care who you are. You'll never replicate a game, you know, or practice like a game. You know, the live game reps are going to be better. So getting him those reps, he was coming off his injury, trying to knock some of that rust off, to kind of be back to that guy that he was. So, I don't have a problem with the decision. Obviously hindsight's 20/20, and pull him. You should have pulled him right before that play.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, if you
but
knew, of
he
course,
sidesteps a guy, makes a miss, and goes to the touchdown. We're not even having a conversation.
Exactly.
So,
I agree.
or if he pulls up and throws a touchdown, it's like, damn, okay, now we got something to build off. We got some momentum. I think they were just kind of spiraling in a weird situation as an organization, to where they were just reaching so hard to find success, and unfortunately that happened. But that's also part of the game. I mean, think about the amount of injuries across the league this year. It's just been astronomical. It's crazy. We dealt with it from the high school level. So it's just a different. Got to get lucky sometimes.
You hit on it earlier. Literally be coming down to luck, because it's crazy how injuries can happen. Like, I know we had a big injury at the high school week 1.
Yeah.
When our first defensive possession, one of our key players got hurt, and it was so crazy. Like, we literally, I was up in the booth for that first game, and we just up game planning. And I know he went down. And I'm thinking like, all right, he gonna get up. Right. Then he was just down. Then the ambulance came up. Now I'm trying to figure out, like, what's going on?
Right. Nobody had a headset on at that time.
Ain't nobody talking, so we don't know nothing. I'm calling on the phone at this point.
This was the only feeling right there.
It's crazy though. You thinking about that, injuries just piling up in all sports, for real.
Yeah.
Like, you think about football, basketball, they crazy injuries. You know what I'm saying?
It's part of the game now, unfortunately. You got to be healthy at the right time. You got to be hitting on all cylinders at the right time, and you can never play with the doubt of injury in your mind, because that's when you really do get injured.
Absolutely.
But some of these freaks, especially these, you see these major non-contact injuries. Like, how do you avoid that?
Yeah, that'd be the worst. Yeah.
You can argue the playing surface, the turf or the grass, but at the end of the day, man, God has His plan, and
Yes.
and it's gonna happen regardless. So no matter how much you want to prevent it, and you just pray that it doesn't happen to you.
Yep.
Or one of your guys.
All right. So now, do y'all want to get into basketball topics?
Let's do it.
All right, come on. So, first one I want to get into is LeBron. He's back. He's back, y'all.
Uh-oh.
So, I want to talk about it because I'm a Laker fan. So,
Laker fan or LeBron fan?
Yeah.
I'm actually a Laker fan.
Okay. I can
I'm
respect.
actually a Laker fan.
All right,
but
Kobe or LeBron, then, if you're really a Laker fan.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
What we talking about? Kobe.
Yeah, all right, making sure.
First of all, I'm a Kobe fan.
Yeah,
But but you know what I'm saying? First game back, or first couple games back, man. How y'all feel like he's been looking, like all the hype saying he was gonna be changing the way they play and all this, that, and the third. I just gonna say, I think they've been looking great. So
It's hard. I mean, in one token, hey, Bron, get out the way, man. Like, these boys is balling, but you can't exchange that talent, and that experience.
Facts.
And that guy, he's going to elevate it, and you hope that in a perfect world, as a Laker fan, that he elevates the game even more, but his 20 attempts is going to have to come from somewhere. Somebody.
See, that's what I'm saying. He didn't even play the game like that. Like, everybody thought he was gonna be like, yo, I gotta get my 25. Like, nah, he out there giving all the assists.
Hey, that's cool right now.
But it ain't gonna fully.
But he's been facilitating, like, what I'm saying, since he got late in his career. That's really been
It's kind of morphed his game to be like that.
More of a facilitator. So I always knew him and Luka would work. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he take the pressure off of Luka. Luka can do what he do, which is whatever he want to do.
Right.
He spot up. You know what I'm saying?
Luka.
Yeah, he's different.
You know what I'm saying? Right now, he's second in the West. The Thunder still, they still the favorites. You know what I'm saying? He's still the team
Thunder
to beat.
is the team to beat.
Yeah, the Thunder gonna win it. Like, when you look this good, while you don't have Jalen Williams, when they get him back, it's gonna get real scary. Like, they doing this without their second best player. Like, that's gonna be crazy. But, like, hitting on the Lakers, I mean, LeBron is finally getting his wish. He been saying for the last 6 years, he been wanting to take a backseat. Like, he's at a point where he wants to be able to sit with somebody else that can go score to 60 instead of him having to do it at 40 years old. So now he has Luka and Austin Reeves that can do that. And DeAndre Ayton is actually playing good basketball.
Yeah.
Like, he's enjoying playing with Luka and Austin Reeves and LeBron because they're gonna give him the ball in the spots that he needed.
like you said, it takes some of that pressure off of him.
Yeah.
You know, he's not forced to carry the ball up the court every single play. He's not forced to, was ISO LeBron. He's not forced to do all that. He's got pieces around him, man, and that's what great players, do. And they find a way and enhance their team. And hopefully, they can continue doing that because they could be a problem.
Yeah, and that's something he's been looking for since he's been over there with the Lakers. He's been looking
for those pieces.
Yeah, like I need to, like you said, facilitate. Just be the coach on the court. You know what I'm saying? And he getting the opportunity now, so I'm enjoying what I see as far as with the Lakers so far. You know what I'm saying? But like you were saying, OKC, you know what I'm saying? They are making history right now. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all feel like they're gonna come out in the West, and not only the West, and I feel like they're gonna win the West, but come out and have break the record for the best season in the NBA? They on track.
Yeah, I really think they can. I wish I knew J-Dub's timetable. If he coming back real soon, then yeah, definitely. I think because like I said, I think they lost 3 games so far, if I'm not mistaken, without him. So if they can get him back soon, then
What's
talking
what's
about
the record?
73-9.
Oh yeah.
So they can't take 7 more losses. They're gonna take 6 to tie. So they're gonna have to go on some runs. But I think it's possible with them because even
82 games.
but we seen last year, like if Shea missed a game, J-Dub can go for 50 without him, or Chet can go for 40 without him. Like they got so many people that can step up off the bench. Like Isaiah Joe last year went for like 35, and he like the 7th man. So when you got a roster that deep, it's easier to win those long streak of games. Definitely on them back to back.
I don't think they're gonna break it though. I think they more focused on the repeat. Yeah. Sometimes, especially in today's NBA, to get the repeat, you might have to rest some guys some time, take some games off. So I think they more focused on that.
That's a good point.
The new school load management now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, man, them boys weren't thinking about taking no nights off. But I think because what are they sitting at 17-1, something like that right now? They got 1 loss.
Yeah, I think they got one, 2, or 3.
But there's like 80 something games to go or whatever. So I guess
stretch, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, as long as they don't take another injury bug but like you said, I mean, are they really going for that record or are they looking for that ring?
That's the key, yeah.
Like, do I want this regular season record or I want another ring? So you got to take care of your guys too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a fact. So, all right, so now can the Pistons make the finals this year?
They look good. And Cade is definitely cementing himself as one of the top guards in the league. Like the Pistons is playing great basketball. Jalen Duren, he's made the biggest stride that's making them real different. Like he's coming down the court, ISOing from the top of the key, step back, shooting threes. Like when you got a center that can do that spreads out your offense so much more to lead those driving lanes.
Yeah.
So playing downhill for real.
Absolutely.
I look at that as the same thought process with a dual threat quarterback.
Yep.
You can do both. You can have the best of both worlds and be efficient.
Exactly.
That's the other thing. You just out there jacking threes up, but he's efficient.
Yes.
Yeah. It's you got to ride that wave.
Definitely.
Yeah, they definitely can make a run. What I'm saying? Of course, I like the Knicks, so I'm never gonna count them out. But
Man.
but
just go to get yourself prepared for that one,
but
man.
to be honest, what I'm saying, the East wide open.
It is.
A lot of the favorites are injured. A lot of what I'm saying, the teams for last year that made noise. So
Yeah, the whole top of the East is injured.
yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Don't worry, they ain't gonna be open for long because, like I said, one of the topics I know we got to hit on, like they talk about LaMelo might be getting shot for trades in Miami. Time for us to go get us one.
Wait. So you think he going to Miami?
That's where I hope he go.
Man.
I'm a Heat fan. If we can get LaMelo in the building with Bam and Khalil Ware now, I love that mix. Like I don't want to lose Tyler Hero, but if they say that's who it take, I love you, dog.
Take Hero get some picks.
Yeah, they give him the first round, that you can have it. Just bring LaMelo into town. The only thing I'm scared of, going from living in Charlotte to living in Miami,
Oh, he gonna get
that's
Buck
different.
Wild.
Yeah,
He gonna
that's,
get Buck Wild.
With his personality,
yeah, that's the one thing I'm worried about.
Get Buck
That's a
Wild.
lifestyle change.
Yeah.
So
I
other
don't
than
know, Charlotte jumping though.
Look,
Shout out to Charlotte.
Charlotte is lit.
Charlotte do be jumping.
Charlotte,
Yeah.
right.
Like I went for the first time, like in like spending the town and like the area and stuff. It can get lit out there too.
But it ain't Miami.
Nah, it ain't Miami, but it's.
It ain't
But
South
other than
all.
Miami, what would be a good fit for Melo? Like his game, his style of play. Like what would be a good fit?
other than Miami.
Because that was my thought. I'm like, who would need LaMelo? I mean, it's a lot of teams need a point guard, but just his style of play, because he's very unpredictable.
Yeah. Very ball dominant.
Yeah, it got to be a team that's getting younger. I heard, I know Toronto probably. I heard Toronto was monitoring the situation, like if he really do become on the trade market.
Right.
And I can see that because Scotty Barnes playing good ball, Brandon Ingram playing good ball. So if you could bring in a guard like that to go with them two, I wouldn't see no issue with that. Yeah. Other than that, so it's so many teams with good guards, good promising guards.
Play right now, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, why would you break up your dynamic for that?
Where would he be going?
But it's LaMelo, and we know when he's healthy, he's one of the best guards. But once again, hitting on Coach's point, health matters so much. Like, if you ain't gonna be on the court for me, you ain't doing me no good.
Are you available? You feel
Not
me?
only that, but also when you talking about making runs, it's not your starters.
No.
You got to figure out what that bench gonna do.
Yep.
Yeah. What's that? 5 minutes in that second half of that first quarter. How many points am I going to be able to still facilitate through for the bench? And if you can go to a contender and make your team, deeper when you come off that bench and you have a guy. Not saying that Melo will come off the bench, but imagine something like that in those minutes.
Yeah.
Like you in a plus column already for point differential.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes good teams great.
Definitely.
He'll be, I think he'll be hard to convince, to buy into that.
Yeah, right now he's still chasing his bag. He's
Coming
still,
off the bench.
but like a guy like the latter half to LeBron's point, he sees it now. LaMelo's obviously he's still an upcoming star, and in his prime and stuff. But there's you look at guys, old school guys, the Chris Pauls of the world. They'll take a little less to try to get that ring. The KDs. So some of the OGs, are now trying to find those secondary roles. To get that bag, to get that ring.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they got to find it somewhere. So this next topic, the NBA. All right, so Klay Thompson and John Morant, the Grizzly beef. I want to talk about that a little bit. Like, so what do anybody know? Do you know what's going on with this?
And Morant wasn't even playing.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
what I'm
know.
saying.
I didn't understand what was going on.
What,
Everybody just been coming at him. Like, ever since they seen him with Megan Thee Stallion.
I was gonna say, you think Morant tried to pull up on Meg or something?
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like
He
Klay
might-
getting into it with a lot of people lately, bro. I don't know. It seemed like the old Golden State cats. They just get into it. Everybody, Draymond Green, he getting into it. Kenyon Martin.
Yeah, that gotta stop. Like, I respect Kenyon Martin. Like, my dad has drilled in my head how good Kenyon Martin was back in the day. So I understand all that. But Kenyon Martin is not better than Draymond Green. Like, definitely when you talk about career-wise, Draymond Green one of the best ever. He's gonna walk into the Hall of Fame when it's done. I don't care how his career averages look. We talking about DPOY,
that's
finals. You don't think he gonna walk in?
Let's get it.
No, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about
Better than
Let's get
Kenyon
it,
Martin?
Kenyon Martin.
You think Kenyon Martin was better than Draymond Green?
Yo, if I'm building a team, and
Give me Draymond.
because they don't play the same position.
I mean, they kind of they
Kenyon
were
Martin,
playing forward,
but he's more of a point forward.
Yeah,
Draymond Green.
but Draymond.
Kenyon Martin was just.
People forget about prime Draymond, man. 2016,
So he was too young.
20-point triple-double Draymond.
Like Kenyon Martin, he was an enforcer. So if you need,
That's true.
if that's what your team need, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But Draymond giving me that. If I say, hey, Draymond, I need you to go set this hard screen and set the game off, he gonna do it.
Well, he the dirty work guy, bro.
Yeah.
He's,
That's Draymond's game.
and I think Draymond brings a little bit more to the offensive table too.
Yeah.
He can step out, he can meet the
He can
mid range, he can hit some stuff. But
better passer.
I've had that same conversation before where, in this day and age, you got to have guys that are willing to do the grunt work, willing to get the boards and not be the spotlight guy.
Absolutely.
The behind the scenes kind of guy. Get your rebounds, get your assists, and just hustle.
Yeah.
And bring that mentality to the team. And I've always thought, now some of the extras that Draymond got into, and like all the tripping and all that. Man, come on, bro,
That's
just
too
play
much.
ball. But his style of play is something that I respect because it's not for the glitz and the glamour. It's literally to get those wins.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you say, and you need that. Like,
and another difference, like Kenyon Martin on his teams,
yeah.
he was more so the focus than Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying? He had Klay Thompson and Steph Curry
He has some
in their
pieces
prime.
around him.
You know what I'm saying? Like Kenyon Martin,
He was
more so the focus.
He was a offensive focus. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's hard to gauge. And And when he was doing it, that's what they needed.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think he.
It's hard to
I don't
it's
think his
hard
style
to
of play would
compare.
work now.
Yeah,
No, I definitely not right now. I think he would
I definitely
develop
see him on
in a change it because Kenyon Martin was just a dog. Like he had that mentality. Like he wasn't gonna let you beat him up. He wasn't gonna let you talk trash. He was gonna battle you from the start to the end.
but it was a different NBA too.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, it's hard to
Yeah. Hey, listen.
nitpick at that, like for real.
But I mean, I think a guy like Draymond he would have been fine in the old school days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely would have been fine in the old school
But could
days.
Martin be good in the new school days?
No.
No.
You
See,
know,
that's why I think eras all matter. Like I tell my friends all the time, like, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I feel like if I was born in that 70s, 80s era, I'd be a Hall of Famer. Real talk.
Lord
Like,
have mercy.
I think if you
Let's
telling
back
me,
it
listen,
up.
you
Back
telling me
that
this, you telling
Back
me
that one up.
In
to
what
go
field?
to
in
go
reverse, Terry. Put it in
listen,
reverse.
to go to the Hall of Fame, all I gotta do, come up the court, be able to do a little clean crossover, get a
you say, "Oh, I
layup,
got
cool midi, little set me a screen, play some tough defense.
We all
get a
got
hard
hoop
foul
dreams,
if you go to the
bro. We
rim.
all got hoop dreams, bro.
I could do that in the 70s and 80s.
He said 70.
Come on now. I'm coming down the court. Yo, starting point
The
guard,
boys
5'5".
was athletes. I believe them when they say, "Yo, their greats could play in any era, bro." I believe them, bro.
They praised
I
Bill
don't-
Laimbeer, and
I
Bill
don't
Laimbeer
think-
was a
they
hard
fuck-
foul screen
Like I
setter.
say, the physicality difference is just crazy. You know,
And I would have been on that.
yeah.
That's what I look.
He said I would have been on that.
It's just certain things. Like I remember, like when I played basketball at Armstrong, like when I played varsity, my coach made it crystal clear. He said, "Look, you're here to play defense and rebound and make a layups when it's time."
So you was the fouler.
And you got 5 fouls.
I got 5.
Don't take nothing with you. You can't take them home.
If I ended the game with less than 3, I probably ain't do something right unless we won.
Oh, my
if we
God.
lost and I ended with less than 3 and I played like full-on minutes, he was looking at me like I was crazy. What was you doing out there?
Like a Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Bill Laimbeer gonna end up in the Hall of Fame.
Now that maybe I could have made it.
See?
Now that you say that, yeah.
Me and Black would have ran it.
That's it. Dynamic duo.
Come on now.
Y'all got it, bro.
You gotta think about, man, John Stockton and them made it off the pick and roll, which I'm not saying it won't hard, but a pick and roll ain't that intense either. Set the screen, I'm either gonna throw it high, throw it low, I'm keeping it for myself.
But look,
I'm trying to-
I appreciate you, Coach, you know what I'm saying, Coach
Absolutely,
Rudd,
man.
you know what I'm saying, hanging out with us, you know what I'm saying, today. This is it, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what camera I'm looking at, but
Hold on before you guys.
go ahead, go see what you do.
No, I was just saying before you close, I like to thank the sponsors Kickback.
Yes, sir.
Right now they got when you buy a $50 gift card, you get a free $10 gift card. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Hey.
Nobody else does that. Sometimes you can't even get a receipt from other companies. So, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you come down here. The Kickback Jacks from Malothe. I already bought 3. Back to you, Rob.
Can't hide money, boy.
But that's it for today, baby. We'll see y'all next Monday again here at Malothe Turnpike here at Kickback Jacks. This is Kickback Sports Pod. Thanks again. Y'all know what I'm saying?
Yes,
We out.
10-4.
Oh, yeah.